What's up, future fighters? We are back. We are back in the code. Where are we? Oh, yeah. We're jumping. We're jumping. We're jumping in. We're jumping out. We just talked about link energy and how to charge that up. This is where this is the logic behind where Shadow AI decides on how to use the gravity stream to do this. It's one option. It's one way for him to do this, and the other way is to charge up outside the gravity stream. So we talked about that. Now this is complete. So really, these are the only two places these moves are going to work. So boom, boom, boom. Jump in and jump out. Now, the question is, do we translate this, right, into our IET Momentum Fighting Method language? IET Momentum Fighting Method is my fighting method that I use every week in my real sparring, and I've translated it and taught it to Shadow AI. And we're looking at jumping in and jumping out. It's pretty straightforward stuff. I wonder how we would write that. Well, let's think about the logic here. So let's get our moves pulled up here. Jump. We are jumping. There's jump in and jump out. So jump in is first. 23. 23 is here. So this is an in-game translation of my real sparring and martial arts experiences, and so I've kind of coded the logic that I use into the Shadow AI's decision-making logic, and that's where we are right now. And basically, what he does first is he does a threat assessment first. So, and he checks where he's at. Is he on the top or bottom platform? In this case, he would be on the bottom platform, and the opponent has jumped into the gravity stream, which we've demonstrated before. Just for completeness sake, have the Omen Knight come over here and knock the crap out of Omega. And of course, this is the Skydrop sequence that puts you on the bottom platform. Now, in this particular case, let's say Shadow's controlling Omega here on the left, and I'm controlling the Omen Knight, and I jump into the gravity stream. Well, that triggers this move in the Shadow AI's decision making. He says, "Oh, okay, he jumped into the gravity stream, and we're on the bottom platform, so I need to get in there too." So he'll press forward, and then at the right moment, at the right distance, because we have all that coded, he'll jump into the gravity stream and chase him up, and that keeps the fight moving. It makes it exciting a little bit too. You can give that a try at docrockgames.com right now and get early access and give it a try. So that's what he's doing with the jump in component. The other place that is triggered, let's scroll down here, should be here. Let me make sure. Yeah. Well, triggered. That's the wrong term. I shouldn't have said triggered, because there's basically two places in the code here. Oh, shoot. Let me grab that. Number 5, 23. So we already went over this. This is the threat present, blah, 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 blah. I already did that. So this is just another file, one big long file containing all of the AI code, so we can easily search for things instead of having to go through each individual script window, which are separate files in the game engine. There we go. So, okay, 23, this is where we're at now. Make sure that's just a comment. That's distances, which we just talked about. More distances. That's follow through, which we talked about in a previous video. You can go watch that. That was today as well. Okay, so yes. So these are the only two places for 23. So this is not a triggering. This is making sure that you're not currently going into jump, because you don't want to end that if you've started it. And the reason is because the opponent's in the gravity stream, right? So there is no threat. When there is no threat and when you're fighting, you just go all out. There's lots of different instances where that's the case. On offense, it's when you hurt the other guy. And when they're hurt, it breaks their morale psychologically. It also causes them to, sometimes at least, make defensive choices that are not the wisest, like trying to ball up or cover up, which just opens you up in other places and covers your eyes where you can't see. So, in those cases, you have to take into account those cases. In real fighting, you have to take into account, but in the game, I've translated that too. So, if there's a place where there is no threat, then you need to just move forward, advance, go to it, go at them, and go get them. And in this case, there's no threat because your opponent's trying to run from you, and now it's time to chase them. So that's where that is. So it's not really a trigger here. Really, the only place that this move is triggered is here, right here. And there's really no other place for a move like this. As a standalone, you're thinking, let's think not from escaping, let's just think from a fighting standpoint. You might throw someone off by jumping at them like this, but you just don't want to jump in on somebody. I mean, you jump in on someone like the Omen, they're just going to tag you, while you're trying to come in at them. They're not going to let that. They're not going to let that fly. So you don't want to. If you're going to jump in at someone, you need to be doing an attack to keep them on the defensive, so they don't pop you. So really nowhere else that I would use that. At least currently, I wouldn't use it. So let's talk a little bit about the language then of this move. Jump in. So if we were going to, let's just run an experiment, and we were going to talk about the initiator intent. You're jumping. The initiator intent is a chase. It's a chase down is what it is. The direction is forward. The execution intent is the same as the initiator intent. It's to get in the gravity stream. Gravity stream access. And the transition position is neutral. It's you just maintain your position. So how about that? crazy how that the IET Momentum Fighting Method being translated and used to categorize these moves has just been so helpful. It's just been so helpful in helping me understand fighting, but helping me also classify these categories, which makes it easier for me to add moves into them later, because I can take one look at that and I know exactly what it's for. And if I come up with something that's similar, I can pop it right in that folder and the AI has instant access to it. Or I can look at that and say, oh, no, the new move that I've created is different than that. I need to make a new category. And it'll make your in-game experience better as well, because it'll provide more variability and more challenge. So this is great. So we're going to rename this. Here we are, jump in right there, and jump in right there. And so these are the in-game files here on the left side, and that's the code reference point. So it all has to match. So jump, chase down, you're going forward. It's for gravity stream access, and you're not doing anything after. Remember, transition is what your intent is, what your position is after you finish your move. Do you stay in? Do you go out? Do you go back out and come back in? Are you trying to stay away? Are you trying to stay close so you can keep doing a combo? In this case, once you release this last move, you're not trying to go anywhere different, so you're just maintaining your position. So that actually makes complete sense. Makes good sense. So that's all done. We didn't break up any of the different moves. Well, there's only one move, so you can't, but there weren't any different moves, so we don't need to make any new categories here, any new array entries here, which means we can just move on to jump out, which is right here. And jump out is here. I'm pretty sure that's the only place that is triggered. Let's give that a quick check. We'll just search for 22. That is where we are at currently. Let's verify that. Yeah. Yep, that's it right there. Good. And let's see if there's anywhere else. No. That's the array. No, that's distance. That's follow through. We talked about that in previous video. You can go back and watch that. That's not a triggering, that's a note. So yeah, that is the only place that's triggered here. And so how does Shadow AI, how does he think about this? Well, he's already said there's no threat, and now in this case you're not on the bottom platform and the person's not in the gravity stream, so that lands you here. So he says, is my link meter down? At this point, I don't have a threat. The guy's not in the gravity stream. Can I take a rest? Is my link meter down? Yeah, I'm below maximum value and I'm far away, so I'm safe. And resting and fighting is important. We talked about that in one of the previous videos. You can go back and watch that. In this case, if I'm going to rest, I got to decide how I'm going to do it. And in this case, he's on the bottom platform. He says, I'm just going to jump back into the gravity stream and fly up. And while you're trying to chase me down, my link meter is going to expand. Because remember, when you use it, it does recharge, just like in real life. It kind of recharges gradually. There's ways that you can get back and really rest and focus on resting. You can relax your muscles. You can drop your hands a little bit. You can kind of stop so much motion, and you don't have that tension like when you're up next to somebody and you're fighting. Your muscles need to have some tension in them so you can react quickly when the person moves. And so that's the in-game translation of all of that I've experienced in real fighting. So in this case, he's jumping in the gravity stream. And that's what he's using. Jump out. You could use this in other situations. I could use this as a retreat. As a transition. That's an interesting proposal. It's a very interesting proposal, actually. Transition places, there's a few places. I don't think this is one of them. We're going to check. This is the end of the combo. Escape combo, close, getting hit with depleted block breakers. Okay, no, definitely not there. These are the Shadow AI thinking messages. I kind of translated all of this into just a text version, easy to understand. Well, all of this and all of the logic steps before it. So escape combo, close, keep counter, keep close, stay put. These are counters, can't fit there. These are counters. Choose move 17. That is a counter sweep. Can't do it there either. These are specific. These are specific moves. Counter is very, very different and very, very important. You can go back to the previous videos and watch that that explanation and demonstration for counters. I love counters so much. I use them all the time. It's honestly, it's the basis for my fighting. It's my base approach is countering. So that's because I got long limbs and I'm fast and weak. I'm not very strong. So and work with what you got, It's not going to work there, which I didn't think it would. There wouldn't be a dedicated spot for it in choose move for a jump. Well, how about this? Well, I should never talk before I read the code. It might work here. That is hilarious. Okay, definitely not here. This is strike control. I mean, it will work in strike control. I know a specific place where it probably will work strike control, but you wouldn't want to assign it here. This is the variability, the variation that Shadow has in his decision making to keep things, keep you guessing. Actually, is really what it's all for. Keep you guessing. Same here. He would have access to it here, but you wouldn't want to assign it here. This is interesting. So move 12 is a dodge recover move. Let me just bring that up. We can see it. So you're moving, you press backwards, then you press dodge, and then once you get back far enough, you release the dodge move. Very cool, very, very useful. This, you could jump out in this particular case. So instead of going like this, you could go like this. Now, let's see how far. We need to grab that in game, and we're going to load this into chat. That's not right. What the? There we go. We're going to load this into Shadow AI's memory real quick. So don't need that. Do need that. Boom, loaded. So let's see what he does. Wow, it's actually it's a lot far. Well, a lot farther. So let's see. So we'll just memorize his left front leg is just in front of the wing there. I guess the tail, one of the tail fins of the ship. We'll just memorize that spot and let's see how close. So definitely closer, because his right leg now is covering that same spot and he was right here. So, you know, one step closer. Still he's getting back, and he's recovering backwards. Now, is the dodging important? Get back and recover. I didn't say it, and your link is negative here. So in other words, when I say link negative, that's a shorthand for me to say that Shadow looks everything as a ratio. He has a set point depending on what he's doing to you as to how much reserve he wants to keep. And so in general, 50%, he tries to stay about 50%. That's kind of where he tries to stay it. So if he's below 50% and he's met all those other logic, he would pop back and then he can do something like this. Another way to do it would be he just says, I'm going to burn a little bit. Well, a little bit more than that. I'm going to burn a little bit. Well, I'm going to burn a little bit. That's close. And then I'm going to recover. So this could work for him in this particular location. And it gives a little bit of variability, which, you know, I love variability. Now, the other place where this might work. Oh, wow. We are just... Geez, we've got code all over the place. I'm running out of spots to fit everything. Let me... Okay. Just gonna pop that here for right now. The other place where it will work is strike control. Could use that as a transition. Now, the reason that I wouldn't, well, so here are the transition positions. You either stay in, so you can do follow-ups. You back them off, and you stay out, so you can recover or pummel them with energy, electromagnetic radiation energy, strikes, shots. Not strikes. Or you back out and you stay out. So you back them off and stay out, or you back out and stay out. So back out and stay out. That is a transition. That might fit it there. Or you back them off and pressure forward and stay in. That is just following them. So this, you're definitely not backing them off, but backing out and staying out, number two, you are. Let's take a look at some of the other moves in there. So 16, I'm just gonna actually close that to get it off the screen. So 16, block breaker, one shot forward, can't link, stay in. Wait a second, no, that's not 16, that's 6. Sorry, Windows there. Push back, one shot. Let's take a look at this move. I'm going to bring it up on your screen so you can actually see it. Since this video is for you. Oh, wait. This is we need the readable version. So reference files is where we need to be living. So move back, and you're pushing back, and you're releasing. So that's an actual combo. 19 is sky drop, one shot, forward, canceling, back out. So this is the beauty. We don't even need to go in and look and read these moves. Look, it tells you right here. Sky drop, one shot, you're moving forward during the initiator. You can link this if you want, but your transition position is back out. Now, I wonder if you're staying out in that case. I didn't say it. Let's have a look-see. Move back, press, move back, released. You move forward, and then you go back. So I actually should update that to a back out, stay out. And we are going to do that. So let's take a short break here. And I hope you've been enjoying these videos. You can enjoy the game as well. Just go to docbrockgames.com and you can get early access, play against Shadow, try out the Omega character against Shadow, try out the Omen Knight character against Shadow, and then come back here and we're going to finish these moves. I'll see you then.